Beloved friends, welcome to PMC English. We are traveling in the path of Dhammapada and also understanding the Buddha and his philosophy and discussing about the various sutras given by the Gautama Buddha in the Dhammapada. Buddha is a spiritual scientist and he had given a new approach, new outlook to the spiritual path in a very scientific way. Whatever may be the situation and circumstance, he used to give a technique to the disciples and his followers depending on the situation. So, Dhammapada is a very vast knowledge and wisdom given by the Buddha to the whole humanity in the world. Most of the people think that the Buddha way is a very simple way, that is a Shila, Samadhi and Prajna. But when we see the in-depth analysis of the Dhammapada and in-depth analysis of the Buddha and his philosophy, there is a vast knowledge, it's an ocean. And also we are discussing the important sutras and important techniques which he had given in the Dhammapada. Many people in those days had influenced by the Buddha and travelled in the path of spirituality and travelled in the path of nirvana and enlightenment. The whole family except Suddhodana, his mother Gautami and his wife Yasodhara, and also the Buddha's son Rahul had travelled in the path of Dhammapada and attained the nirvana at a very young age. When we see the story of the Rahul, the son of Buddha, when the Buddha left the home and went in search of truth, at that time Rahul was a small kid. Not even he had identified his father at that age, unknown to him. So, after the Siddhartha had become a Buddha, he returned to home to see the parents. The Suddhodana will invite the Buddha to his home to see him. At first, the Buddha rejected to come, but the Suddhodana had requested him, please visit once. So, on his request, the Buddha will come to the Kapilavastu kingdom and he will see the condition of the kingdom. And at that moment, the Suddhodana health was sick and he visited to see him. And at last, he will go to his wife Yasodhara to talk to her in the aloneness. So at that moment, the Yasodhara will ask a question to Buddha, why you have left the home and what you have achieved in these years. You can do your spiritual practices even if you stay in the kingdom also, and why you have escaped from the situations and circumstances. What is the reason behind it and what you have achieved in these years? She will ask like that. Then the Buddha will say, in those years, during this time period, I have done so much of practices and attained the wisdom. I have lost all my negativities, I mean anger, greed, discriminations, jealousy and desires. I was get rid of all these miserable conditions, and now I am in a blissful state. In that situation, the Buddha will say, you don't get any experiences in the meditation, but simply a transformation will happen to you. A change will happen in your life. What is that change? What is the transformation? It's nothing but just you will come from negativity to positivity, and you will get changes in your life. You will get a disciplined life, and you will know the art of living, and you will understand the life completely, and you will try to live your life in a very blissful state. These are the advantages of meditation. Then when the real experiences comes means when you enter into the samadhi, you will know the real experiences, real inner experiences. Then when you enter into the samadhi, your inner journey will start. Meditation is the only way. Meditation is the entry. With the meditation, you will become introvert, and you will understand the body, mind and heart, your feelings, your emotions, and you will become aware what is going on inside. Then naturally you will get rid of your negativities. When you get rid of this negativities and miserable conditions, ultimately you will attain the blissful state. Then when the experiences will come, real experiences will come means when you enter into the samadhi, you will experience the divine glimpses in your inner journey. Buddha will say like that to the Yasodhara. Then the Yasodhara will say that without renouncing the world also, you can achieve this thing. But why you have left the home? Buddha will say, yes, you are right. But at that moment, I don't know that I can achieve here itself. I don't have that much understanding at that moment. And in our previous Indian history, there is one system that when you want to travel in the spiritual path, you have to renounce the world. That is the oldest technique in India we are seeing. So the Buddha had followed the same technique. But after realizing, after becoming a Buddha, I have realized that there is no need to renounce the world. Wherever you are and whatever the situations are, you can attain the nirvana at any place without any hesitations. So I have realized after becoming a Buddha. So Buddha will answer like that. Then the Yasodhara will introduce us Rahul to the Buddha that he is your father. Take blessings from him. Then Rahul will come, and what the Yasodhara will say, you ask your father what he will give to you as the ancestral property, and ask your right from your father. Then Buddha will say that I am not the king, I don't have any kingdoms, and I am not interested in the money, jewels, gold. I don't have anything. I am a monk. So I will give my wisdom, Buddhahood, to the Rahul. Then what he did was, he had taken his bowl, begging bowl, and he had given to the Rahul. Then naturally the Rahul had become a monk, and he had given a Dhamma Diksha. So before leaving the Kapilavastu kingdom, the Rahul also will follow the Buddha and he will go to his monastery and he will join in the Sangha at the age of 12 years, at a very small age. So Rahul had become enlightened at the age of 14 years, and he used to live in the ashram near to the Buddha cottage, and the name of the Buddha's cottage was Gandhakutir. He used to live there. Buddha was his father, but Rahul never crossed his limits and treated him like a father. He used to see like a guru, and he is his disciple. So the relationship between the Rahul and Buddha was not a father and son relationship. Now it is a relationship between a guru and a disciple. Why? Because when a man had become enlightened and who had born in the family, the whole worldly relations will disappear, like father-son relations and mother-daughter relations and brother-sister relations. All this vanishes away, and only the one relation will be everlasting, that is the master and disciple relationship. That is the ultimate relationship in this whole world. Everything will go, everything will vanish, but the ultimate relationship was master and disciple relationship. So whoever may be the person, whether he is a relative or a son or a friend, whoever may be, a time will come that they will become disciple to the enlightened masters. We can see so many examples in so many enlightened masters' life. For example, when we see the life of Osho, his father, mother and his brothers had become disciples to him, apart from all the relations. Why? Because the wisdom is great. You have to surrender to the wisdom, not that according to the age. Wisdom is great. When the person is younger in his age also, you have to surrender to that person. Why? Because there is no age limit to attain the wisdom, to attain the nirvana or to attain the enlightenment. So you have to surrender yourself to that person, whether he is younger or older than you. So while coming to this Buddha and Rahul relationship also, they had the relation of master and disciple. So the Rahul used to sleep near the balcony of Buddha, and he used to do sadhana continuously 24 hours with dedication and with commitment. So while coming to the Rahul period, he was a small kid, and when we see the mind projections, when we see the mind disturbances, the mind will create hurdles according to the age groups. When a person who is in the young age, the mind will create illusions by creating the thoughts or emotions with the desires, sensual pleasures and attractions in the world. It will divert like that from the meditativeness. And when we see the small children, the mind will create a visualization or illusions on the name of toys, food and the things which the children will attracted to that. So in this context, when we see the Rahul's life also, the mind had disturbed him in so many ways by giving lots of illusions on the name of toys, food, and other attractions. But the Rahul was in a very balanced way, and he had dedicated completely himself to the sadhana without getting diverted from his meditation. So like that, he has seen all the illusions of the mind, and also the miserable conditions which the mind has created, and just he had become a witness. And what the mind will do, that when you are not disturbed by the thoughts or emotions, and it will create a visions and dreams when you are sleeping. One night the Rahul was taking rest near to the Buddha cottage, and in that sleep he had seen one dream, that the mind is creating so much of illusions and number of toys and very delicious food, and also this Rahul is fond of elephant, and he had seen in his dream that the image of elephant. So many this type of illusions are created by the mind, which the small children are attracted to it, and they have diverted from the meditation. Like this, the mind will create according to the age, and according to the situations and circumstances, the mind will disturb every age group of people. It is creating so much of illusions. But the Rahul, witnessing all the things, just like watcher on the hills, he is just watching. He is not responding to that situations. He is not reacting to the situations. He is just observing the reactions of the mind in a very equilibrium and equipoise state, in the equanimity. So then the Buddha is observing all these things which is happening to the Rahul, and the Buddha will say that now my son had crossed all the bondages and all the limitations and all the attractions and illusions which have created by the mind. Now he is in the equipoise, equilibrium, in the samatha. He is in the balanced way. So mind, your work is over. Better you will vanish. You cannot create any illusions, you cannot create any attractions to my son. Your work is over. He said like that. Then at that night, the Rahul had become enlightened, and he attained the nirvana. And after that, the Rahul given some sutras about the Dhammapada, and also he had given some sutras from his experience. What he will say, that the mind will create so many barriers, so many illusions, and your work is, you have to become equanimity, you have to come in the equanimous and equilibrium, equipoise of your state, and you have to be in a very courageous to face the illusions of the mind. And if you are in the balanced state, then naturally the mind will withers away. And also he had explained the nature of Buddha, and also how he had influenced by the Buddha's consciousness and his aura and his energy levels. And also he had attained the nirvana at a very young age, at the age of 14. He was the first person and the youngest monk of the Buddha who had attained the nirvana. In this juncture, the Rahul was given some sutras in the Dhammapada, and what he will say that you should not observe your breath by the mind. Why? Because the mind will wander here and there from the past, or it will wander towards the future, but it won't stay in the present moment. The mind will create so much of hurdles and barriers, and it is the cause for misery and the miserable conditions which you are facing in your life. So, understand the mind. So, keep your vision on your breath. Just observe your breath with your vision, not with your mind. Accept body, the mind, thoughts, emotions, heart and feelings, senses. All these are, it's a form of energy. Except the physical body, all the forms are in the energy form. The solidity is there only in the body, not in the mind or other things in your body. It's a different stages of your energy and how it will work according to the lifestyle and according to the your nature. So, understand your body and come out of this body pleasures and understand the illusions created by the mind, and next understand the heart and its feelings, how it is creating positive and negative feelings. Then finally you will enter into the blissful state. And it is the whole process. If you have the commitment, if you have that guts, you can cross these 4 stages within 1 hour also. So, you have to see your breath with your vision, not with your mind. Why? Because the vision will see the body, and this will see the mind also, and it will see the breath. And if you observe the breath with your vision, naturally the mind will withers away. And this was the technique given by the Rahul. Keep vision. Why? Because the vision will focus on body, mind and also breath. So, if you focus your vision on breath, naturally the body and mind will wither away within fraction of seconds. Then why you suffer with body and mind fluctuations? Ignore that. Just ignore. Keep your vision on breath. Then naturally you will enter into the meditativeness. What is meditativeness? Sitting silently, doing nothing. Spring comes on its own, grass grows itself. Sitting silently means without doing anything. Doing nothing means thinking is also doing, so stop thinking. What happens if you sit silently doing nothing? Naturally, your wisdom will grow and you will enter into the meditativeness. And when you are in the meditativeness for 48 minutes or 50 minutes, then you will enter into the next step, that is samadhi. What is samadhi? Samadhi is nothing but art of dying. When you know the art of living, you will learn the art of dying. Then finally, you will enter into the nirvanic state. So, this is the whole philosophy of the Buddha. And Rahul had got prajna at a very young age, and he had attained the nirvana in the small age itself. So, Rahul, the name given by the astrologers, those who are in the kingdom of Suddhodana, Rahul means, it's a meaning that when he had taken birth, he had created a bondage to the Siddhartha, and also he had created a barrier not to go in search of truth. But apart from that, and he had become a hurdle in his path. Why? Because when we are going in search of truth, the main bondages will come from the family itself. Father, mother, wife, children, all these are bondages. In the path of spirituality, you have to leave them. But in Buddha's life, he had renounced everything, and he had gone in search of truth and attained the enlightenment, that is a nirvana, by crossing all the bondages and barriers which the world has given to him, which the parents has given to him. And apart from that, he had went into search of truth. That is the greatness of Buddha. And also he had understood the Buddha's philosophy and given the new vision to the life. So Rahul was a wonderful kid, and he attained the wisdom at a very young age. And naturally, when a child will born in the family of a enlightened master, I mean to the Buddha, naturally he is a wonderful. Why? Because he had selected the parents who are truthful and also enlightened beings. So this is the good path he had selected by taking birth in the Siddhartha family. So he had given a new technique and a new vision with his experience in his sutra. So understand this and attain wisdom in this life only. This Dhammapada is nothing but, it is not the theory part. You have to listen, but you have to practice in your daily life. Then you will understand the essence of Dhammapada. Otherwise, it will become just a theory. Of course, it is beautiful to listen also, but it won't work. You have to understand the philosophy, and you have to implement them in your life. Then only it will work to you. So friends, understand this and practice meditation daily and be in meditativeness for 24 hours. Be conscious, be alert, be in awareness. Attain the nirvana in this life only. Thank you very much.